What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the WWE Survivor Series 2022 preview show by yours truly, Cage. We're getting ready for Survivor Series, which is going to take place this weekend over in Boston, Massachusetts. We got a nice card coming to you. Of course, before we get to that, this is Cage by IQ, the best place for MMA content. You can follow us on social media on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. Make sure you follow us on all those pages. And of course, with the videos, are always uploaded to YouTube. So make sure that if you haven't done so already, you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Cage My IQ and make sure you hit the notification bell so whenever any new content gets put out, you're the first to get the alerts. And then please smash the like button down below and hit us up in the comment section. Let me know what your predictions are going to be like for this pay-per-view and give me any upsets you think are going to happen and any feedback that you have on what my picks are for this weekend. But let's get started with the first match on here. Of course, we got a few matches, and then we got the men's and the women's War Games match because Survivor Series, the theme is War Games this year. But the first match, it hasn't been announced yet, but more than likely, I feel like it's going to happen. LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. We've been wondering what the first storyline for Bray Wyatt was going to be like, who was going to be his first rivalry, and it's wind up being LA Knight. LA Knight has come back character-wise after dealing with that bad Max Dupree gimmick of his, and he changed from a face to a heel, which has been great because he can act like his pompous self and think that he's better than everybody. He's just arrogant. He is great on the mic. I loved what he's done so far. Bray Wyatt is going with this. It feels like the split personalities. You got the Uncle Howdy, and the past 3 weeks, the interactions these two have had have been great. And I'm looking forward to see what happens in a potential match, hopefully this weekend at Survivor Series. And if it happens, I'm going to predict, of course, that Bray Wyatt gets the victory. I feel like you're going to see a lot of good things from LA Knight, but he can afford to lose in this match because it's all about his personality, his wrestling, how he works with other people. He's $1,000,000 regardless if he wins or loses in a match like this. But you need to book Bray to the moon. He's a fan favorite. He's acting like a face and then kind of like a psychopath, talking to himself in the back. Everything else, he's talking as if he's Wyndham and not Bray Wyatt when he's in the ring. But then when he's outside, he is Bray Wyatt. And then you see all the different actions that he does depending on where he's at. But you got to book Bray Wyatt to win this match. He's a main event talent here, fan favorite. He's one of the best merch sales wrestlers in WWE, and you want to get him to that point down the line where he can challenge possibly Roman Reigns for the title in the future. So in this one, I got Bray Wyatt. The next match that we got is, of course, we got AJ Styles with the Good Brothers, and of course the hired backup against Finn Balor and Judgment Day. Of course, we see there that these two, and this has been brewing for a while. We've always wondered when you're going to get AJ Styles as a baby face going up against a heel Finn Balor. I think ever since Triple H has taken over, Judgment Day has been a lot better than what they were booked on under Vince McMahon. And you like what it is because they're strong, they win, they use the heel tactics, especially Rhea Ripley, to get over as a group. And of course, Rhea Ripley has been kind of like the missing piece to Judgment Day. Like she's the reason that they're winning by just getting involved in matches. And you're like, who is, of course, the OG gonna get to like equal the playing field here? And of course, Mia Yim had debuted a few weeks ago. She just got the new name change, which I like very much. So I would have thought that they would have done like a Survivor Series 4-on-4 elimination match in this one, just to play along with the Survivor Series format. But no, they're going with the one-on-one captain versus captain, AJ versus Finn. I'm going to go with Finn Balor to win this match. I feel like he's going to get it. I think AJ Styles could win it, but I want Finn Balor to win this. I want them to get the victory. I want Rhea Ripley to be the reason if she's going to be there. Hopefully, that's why they're going to have this as one of the first matches, so she can get involved, and then she'll go to the women's WarGames match and do her thing there. But in this match, I'm going with Finn Balor. I think you got to evolve Judgment Day even more. I feel like the OG and the OG can afford to lose again. They're a big threat. They can lose and then a couple weeks later be just fine. But this whole thing with the Judgment Day hinges on the fact that they get wins. They got the win, of course, at Crown Jewel, which was big. A few months before that, of course, they lost. But you need to get them to get the victory at all costs and make Finn Balor feel like a big deal. And I think he gets the victory here. So I'm going with Finn Balor, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go with AJ Styles to possibly push this forward even more and continue the feud going forward. Moving on to the next match that just got announced on Raw, we got a triple threat match for the United States Championship. I love the fact that they've brought importance to this title once again because we've been saying this for the past couple months that I see in U.S. title were kind of irrelevant for the longest time because of the two war titles. But ever since Roman Reigns has been the Universal Undisputed Champion, holding both belts, that they put priority on the U.S. and IC titles have been main titles on those brands since he's taken more of a part-time role on WWE for the past few months and then moving forward. But you got the champ, Seth freaking Rollins. He won the title, of course, from Bobby Lashley last month. You got the former Money in the Bank briefcase holder, Austin Theory. He decided out of the blue that, you know what, I don't think I'm going to ever have a chance to cash in on Reigns. So I'm going to do my own thing, and I'm going to cash in on, of course, the champ, Seth freaking Rollins. And then you got Bobby Lashley, who still is pissed that Seth freaking Rollins took advantage of him getting beat down by Brock Lesnar and won the title from him in a match that was still scheduled. He mocked him into it, and of course he picked at the pieces of a broken Bobby Lashley at the time. Ever since Bobby Lashley dominated Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel and still lost by a roll-up to Brock Lesnar, he has been pissed off to no end. I wouldn't say it's like a heel move. I would just say he is so pissed. He's still more so like a baby face, but he just has this mean side to him because he's so mad that he lost to Brock Lesnar. I think this is going to lead to him versus Brock Lesnar again at either a Royal Rumble, or they might string it out to possibly WrestleMania in LA to where they get the payoff of Bobby Lashley actually beating Brock Lesnar instead of just dominating and losing to him. But this is all stringed around the U.S. Championship and Austin Theory just getting in. These guys have just been interacting with each other. Of course, you got Ali that has been in the mix, but he's been kind of the punching bag for all three of these guys. I don't know what they're going to do with this. They could have Seth freaking Rollins retain this and keep on moving there because he just won it last month. I don't think Bobby Lashley wins this because I feel like they're going to have him go to the thing with the Brock Lesnar down the line. He's kind of going to be stuck in between that main event world title picture, and then the U.S. Championship picture. So he's going to be in between that, kind of like in between main event and mid card, but still have a big status because of the name recognition. He's still kind of feuding with Brock Lesnar, who's part time. So this kind of gives him something to do in the time being until he has to get ready for that. Because next pay per view is Royal Rumble. He'll be in the match. I feel like somehow maybe Brock Lesnar comes back there and cost him the Rumble match. And I'll kind of string along to that point from there on. It'll be him and Brock Lesnar feuding to WrestleMania. My thing is, who's going to win the match, Seth Rollins or Austin Theory? I think Seth Rollins is going to wind up retaining the belt because you don't need Austin Theory to win the title just yet. I think maybe down the line you have him win it, but I think for right now you have Seth Rollins retain the title and move on through December and possibly January as still champion. But I do think maybe in the next 2 months you could have that one-on-one match between Seth Rollins and Austin Theory, where Austin Theory takes the title from him. But I don't think you do it just yet. I think you ride the wave of Seth Rollins with the crown as a babyface right now. Moving on to the next match, the final one-on-one match, we got the Ronda Rousey defending the Raw Women's Championship against Shotzi. This has been kind of, to me, like a lackluster feud right here. They had Shotzi win the, of course, the fatal four-way, five-way to become number one contender for Survivor Series WarGames. You got Ronda Rousey, who's been acting as a heel, but now she's paired up with her buddy Shayna Baszler. So we really don't know where this is going to go. But they've just ushered into the Raquel, of course, Rodriguez into this feud. And it's kind of like a 2-on-2 on SmackDown. They're going to have a tag team match. It makes you wonder, like, are they going to progress and add people to this match, or is that just to kind of equal the playing field with Shayna Baszler getting involved in this feud? Maybe Shayna comes as like a manager for the match, and then Raquel comes in for Shotzi. But I'm pretty sure that Shotzi's not going to win the belt, even though that would be very cool. I'm a big fan of Shotzi. I like the fact that she has become a face again. She's a great character. I think that Ronda Rousey needs a character change. I think just her mic skills aren't as good. She's gotten better in the ring. Her just cockiness is good, but I think she has more work to be done here. And I think the right person will get it out of her when the time comes, like a Becky Lynch or even a Charlotte Flair again, or if they get Sasha Banks to come back. But I can only imagine that Ronda Rousey's going to defend this and keep her title here until at least Royal Rumble, where she has a better matchup to go up against. But in this one, I got Ronda Rousey, but don't be surprised if Shotzi puts on a great performance here at Survivor Series, and we got to see her come out with a better tank at the pay-per-view. So keep a lookout for that as well. Let's move on to the WarGames matches. Before we go into that, let's look at the rules for WarGames. Right here, the official rules. You got 2 teams will be contained in separate cages with 1 member of each team starting the match. After 5 minutes, a member from the advanced team will be released to enter the match. After a 3-minute period, alternating members from each team will enter the match until all competitors are inside the cage. Once all competitors have entered, WarGames will officially begin, and only way to win at that point is by pinfall or submission. So those are the rules for a traditional WarGames match, which I really love the format and the way they do it. But first, we're going to go with the women's WarGames match. We saw on Raw that the team Of course, Team Bayley secured the team advantage after Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka. In this match, we got Team Bianca, Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Mia Yim, and a mystery opponent. And then we got Team Bayley, which is Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. The whole question with this match has been who is the mystery opponent and when will we find out? Will we find out on Friday or will we have to wait until Saturday at the pay-per-view? There's been a couple of guesses that I'm thinking. It could be Candice LeRae after she got beat down a few weeks ago by, of course, Damage Control. Could it be Beth Phoenix since she had the thing with Rhea Ripley? Could it be Tegan Knox coming back? Could it be Liv Morgan? It could be Charlotte Flair. It could be anybody. I'm going to go with the guess Candice LeRae. Right now, she fits the best mold of that team with Team Bianca. And at the end of the day, I feel like Team Bayley gets the win. I feel like they have to get the win. Bianca has gone over on Bayley too much of lately. I feel like they kind of dropped the ball with giving the title to Bayley after having her lose twice to Bianca. And then you need to build up that team a little bit more. They do have the tag titles. Rhea Ripley has been booked great. You got Nikki Cross getting back to her old gimmick, crazy, full of energy, strong. Getting to build her up as a heel now. I like it. And then you got the other side. Bianca has never been bigger. The way they booked Asuka and Alexa Bliss has been borderline good and mid card. We don't know what they're doing. Mia Yim is strong. She's there to rival Rhea Ripley. And then they got of course, the anonymous woman, which I think is Candice LeRae. She got beat down, so she's going to have a moment. But I think they got to build up the heels here. They got to give them the win because I feel like this is the moment you do this. You always have these WarGames matches where a heel team win, and then the other WarGames match, you got the base team wins in that one. So in this one, I got Team Bayley win this one. I think either Bayley or Rhea Ripley wind up pinning Bianca. You got to have it be a strong finish. And what better way to have one of them pin Bianca? I think it would be cool if Rhea Ripley wound up pinning Bianca, and then it can lead down to a feud between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair at the Royal Rumble for the Raw Women's Raw Women's Championship. So we got that one right there. So Team Bayley with the win. Moving on to the men's WarGames match, we got the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn going up against the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. There's no group bigger than the Bloodline right now, and there's no guy bigger than, put your ones up, Roman Reigns, the undisputed Universal World Champion in WWE. He hasn't lost a match in over 2 years. He's already passed 800 days as world champion. He's bigger than life right now. But you got this WarGames match, and we don't know who has the advantage yet. They're going to have the tag match on SmackDown. I can only assume that Team Bloodline will somehow get the advantage here, but I think at the end of the day, you got to have the Brutes, McIntyre, and Kevin Owens pick up this victory. I love this rivalry. I love how the Bloodline is strong as ever. You got this kind of feud within the group between Jey Uso and Sami. Sami Zayn wondering why Jey Uso's acting all crazy, and Jey Uso is he doesn't trust Sami Zayn. He thinks there's ulterior motives with him. And I think it's going to boil over in this WarGames match, and something's going to happen between them two where they have a disagreement, and it's going to lead towards the Bloodline losing the match. And maybe I think you get a situation where Sheamus pins Sami Zayn And you know what? I think better yet, I think Sami Zayn causes Jay to somehow get pinned. And that's how the whole dissension in the bloodline starts. And that's how the second guessing continues. That's how you get Sami Zayn possibly getting kicked out of the group because of this match right here. It's going to be a slow build towards that, but I think this is the start of it with the whole distractions between Jay Uso and Sami Zayn. But I think Sheamus gets the pin there, and it leads towards a match between him and Roman Reigns for the world title at Royal Rumble. But I think the good guys get the victory here with the Braun Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. And then they ride on into the sunset as victorious in the men's War Games match. I love the fact that they brought the War Games match back for Survivor Series and not just NXT. This is the perfect pay-per-view to do it because NXT would do this for Survivor Series weekend anyway, so it's a nice thing that they brought it up for the main roster pay-per-view, and it gives them something to do to kind of bring back the old school format of 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, and then they add a twist to it with War Games. So I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view as much as I've had in the past 3 or 4 years. But other than that, that will wrap things up with today's WWE Survivor Series 2022 preview by yours truly, Cage of Cage by IQ. You can once again you can find us on all social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, hit the notification bell, and please smash the like button down below and hit us up in the comment section to the right. But other than that, I will see you guys next time on another edition of Cage by IQ. I'll be putting out all my MMA and wrestling content as always in the weeks to come. Check them out. Let me know what you think. Follow us on social media. I have all the news in the MMA and wrestling universe out on the Twitter. So follow us at Cage IQ on Twitter. Enjoy the content. And as always, have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. See you guys later.